Hello everyone and welcome to Azam Sharp YouTube channel. And in this video, I'm going to show you that how you can create a password strength validator. And we're going to display password strengths also on our screen. Okay. Now there are many different ways of doing that. I will keep things very simple because everyone will have different requirements for the password. So I'm just going to keep it simple. We'll have a couple of different options for weak, moderate, strong passwords, and we're going to go from there. Okay. So the first thing I need to do is to create a form where I can collect the username and the password. And I can go ahead and create a simple state variables for username and password. Now I can go over here and create a form with some text fields. One will allow us to write the username, which will be a binding, which is username. And the other one will be the password. And for the password, we should probably be using the what is it called? Secure field. All right, so we're going to say a password, and we are going to simply get the value into the password. And then this will be a sign up. So user can actually sign up. If you want, you can go ahead and also set some navigation title to be like sign up or something, and that's perfectly fine. So now on the right hand side, let's see if we have Demo Pro working. On the right hand side, you can see that we have the sign up screen with username and password. And over here, we have the sign up button. Now, what I want to do is as the user types in the password, so if I'm typing something over here, it should check this, the length and the characters and whatever your password validation is. And it should show me some sort of a password strength over here saying, let's say this is a weak password or this is a strong password. Some sort of a validator, some sort of a view also to let us know that if it's working correctly or not. So now the question is, okay, where do you want to put the validation? And there are, again, many different ways you can do that. You can create a password validator. You can create an extension on string. You can also go ahead and create a password as a type where you can have a value which will be an actual password. And maybe in this, we will have a validate function. And that validate function can actually return password strength. All right. So when we call this validate function, it's going to return password strength, but we don't really have anything called password strength right now. So let's go ahead and create that. Password strength will be a simple enum. And it's going to have cases like weak, we will have moderate, and we will have strong. So we will have these three different options for password strength. And for the validate function, which is inside the password type that we created, we can return the password strength. Now, it's nullable because sometimes when the page actually loads for the first time, you may be able to say, okay, I don't really have a password strength at this point. All right, when you're initializing the password struct with a value which will be empty string, you may not have anything at that point. Or you may have like weak. So it kind of really depends of your use cases. I mean, we can try by something doing like this, where password strength is, just returning a non-optional. Okay. Let's go ahead and get the length. So we will get the password length, which is value.count. So this will be the actual length of the password. Now over here, this is completely up to you. I'm not saying that you should be using this. It's actually a not really good indication of the strong or the weak password. But keeping it simple, I'm simply going to say if the length of the password is between 0 and less than 6, then we're just going to consider that to be a weak password. Okay? Now, again, this is completely up to you. And using this approach, we can go ahead and create some other ones also. Now, again, use your own custom password strength constraints. All right. Obviously, you're not going to go with this because it's not really checking for number of special characters, number of other characters. So definitely make sure that you are using your own, which is created by your team members, or maybe you're using a framework or something. So now we have this password. Now we are already using the password over here, but we're using it as a string. We can probably change that. Over here, instead of calling it a string, we can initialize it with a password and a value. And whenever the person types in the text box, we're going to make sure that it actually goes to the value. So whenever the person is typing into secure field, it's binded to password.value, which is our struct that we created. All right. So now the next step is, well, okay, how do we validate the password? Or how do we get the strength of the password? Every time you are going to type something in the text field or the secure field, it updates the state, the local state, which basically also means that the body is evaluated. All right. And what we can do is we can create a property, and this can be a private property. We can call it password strength, and that's going to return you the password strength. And we can go ahead and call over here password, which is password.validate. Okay, and we can return it. Now over here you can already see that we are calling the validate, and it's going to give us something. But the validate function itself, if you look over here, it's not really returning you a nullable thing. So maybe we can even remove this part, and we can say, okay, password strength is always going to return a password strength. We're not really going to make it optional. We are going to go and see if this works for us or not. Maybe we do have to return something else. Maybe this week has to be maybe nil, but it's always a good idea to check these things out. All right. Okay, so we have all of this working. That's fine. The final thing that we need to do is we need to create some sort of a password strength view, which can show us, which can indicate us that whether our password is weak, moderate, or strong. And currently we don't really have any view over here. So it always be a good idea to create a password strength view so that you can reuse this. Now, before I go implementing the password strength view, I would like to go and show you the sponsor for this video. This video is brought to you by Azam Sharp School. This is one of the largest catalogs for iOS development videos, and you can see some really some great reviews from all of my students. We have like 16,000 plus reviews, really good reviews. And check out these courses that are available. Everything that you need to learn about iOS development, MVVM and SwiftUI, reactive programming, full stack iOS development. This is actually a pretty famous course because it teaches you how to do server-side programming with Swift and Vapor. So it's a really amazing course. This is my brand new course on the Core Data Bootcamp. Everything you need to learn about core data, definitely check it out. If you're learning Swift data, well, I have a Swift Data Bootcamp course also. MV pattern, I have programming macOS using SwiftUI, test-driven development, mastering SwiftUI MapKit, machine learning, async await, reality kit fundamentals. I mean, there are a lot of courses out there to learn from. And you can buy individual courses, as you can see the prices, or what most people end up doing is that they buy these memberships, like monthly membership of $25 a month, give you access to 22 comprehensive courses and 130 hours of content. All right, so that's kind of crazy. I also do workshops. Our next workshop is coming up really quickly on March 23rd, and you can always learn about these workshops by going to the workshops link. We have workshops coming up for introduction to server-side programming using Vapor. This is very hands-on workshop over Zoom, and check out the cost for the workshop. That's practically free. These kind of workshops that run for like 2-3 hours, they're like thousands and thousands of dollars. But I want everyone to attend these workshops. So I'm pricing it down to only $50 for like 3 hours of workshop. I mean, that's practically free workshop. Swift data fundamentals, and then we have introduction to unit testing. So check out all of this stuff. Go to azamsharp.school and become a highly valued iOS developer. All right, getting back to our actual password strength view tutorial, the next thing that we want to do is to create a password strength view. So I'm going to go ahead and create a password strength view, which will be a view. So it will have a body. There we go. And over here, we can check. All right. Somebody is going to pass in the password strength. So password strength is going to be passed to you, password strength. And based on the password strength, we can display whatever we want. So let's go ahead and display over here, text, password strength dot, well, we can say raw value, although there is really no raw value in our actual enum because it's not really using string. So let's go ahead and use string, and I'll say this is weak. Again, this is completely up to you. Whatever the message you want to appear, that's perfectly fine. I'm just going to say weak, moderate, and strong. And now if we go back over here, you can see that it's going to say it like that. Another thing that we can add over here is the password strength color. Maybe it's weak and then it will show as red. So I can go ahead and add a computer property over here. There we go. Which is based on the password strength. If the password strength is weak, then it's going to show you red. If it's moderate, then it's going to show you orange. If it's strong, it's going to show you green. And we can use that by going over here. We can say padding, a little bit of a padding, 5 or 6 is fine. And the background color, this is where we can pass in the password strength color. So based on the password strength enum, we are going to create a color and simply pass it to the text. Okay, let's go ahead and run this. Now, if I run this right now, I don't really see anything being displayed because we haven't even used the password strength view. So I will have to use somewhere. You can use it anywhere you want. I'm just going to create it over here and pass in the password strength. Now, as soon as I pass the password strength, one thing you will note, it starts printing out weak. And the reason is that we're initializing our password with the value, which is over here empty string. Now, there are many different ways that you can handle that. One of the ways is that you can probably check out the opacity. So opacity, and in this case, we can say if the password dot value is empty, then go ahead and use 0 opacity, or else you can use 1.0. So then it kind of goes away because since our value is empty, the opacity is 0. Now let's go ahead and type something over here. Okay, it's weak because I literally only entered one character. If I entered some other stuff, and there we go, you can see the password is actually changing. If I remove the characters, it goes between weak, moderate, strong. There we go. All right. So this is how you can easily build a password strength validator. And just to reiterate it over here again, please don't use the password length formula that I'm using over here. This is just for demonstration purposes. All right. Just for the demo, use your own password strength validation. This might be whatever your company policies are. You must have a password for 10 characters where you should use an uppercase and special symbols and 5 numbers, things like that. So this is where you get to get creative and change that. All right. So that's pretty much it. Hope you have enjoyed this video. If you like this video, then definitely go ahead and press the like button, share it, and once again, check out azamsharp.school. Great courses, great workshops. I mean, this is your stop for iOS development videos. All right. Thank you so much.